Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today's video is going to be all the puzzles that I did in September. If you're new to this series, it's where I just give roundup reviews of everything that I did the previous month. This time around, I'm doing a little bit differently just because September was really busy for me and I did a ton of mini puzzles and wooden puzzles. So in this video, I'm just going to be discussing things that are 300 pieces and up. I'm not going into the minis. I do have a whole separate video from Puzzle Jam South where I talk about all the wooden ones that I did. I also want to give you a little bit heads up for October that it might be a little light as far as my channel goes. And as far as my puzzling goes, at least for the first 2 weeks. I have my parents coming to town this Saturday, and so I'm trying to do a little bit of pre-filming, but I may be short 1 or 2 videos while they are here. And then after the first week they're here, we're actually all going on a cruise for the second week. And so it's going to be really busy and really amazing to have my parents in town. Maybe I can get my mom to be on my channel for a little bit. But I am just really going to be focusing on spending time with them versus spending time on my channel. Once I come back from our cruise, it's going to be all things a-blazing, and I have a lot of plans happening for the holiday season. So if you are new to my channel, I would love if you subscribe. I have so much stuff coming, and if you have been here a while, thank you so much for being a subscriber. This channel just makes me so happy, and I love getting to reach out to you and hear what you have been puzzling. So let me know what your favorite puzzle that you did down below was this month, or give me heads up of ones that I should avoid. I will link the puzzles down below if I can find them, as well as any videos that I have done on my channel that are relevant to these, and I'll try to put at least pictures, if not video, here so you can get some at least visuals of what these puzzles look like completed. But we just need to get into this, and let's just get started. This first one here is called Forest Dream by Skittle Dog, and this one is so stunning. I really had high hopes for this brand because the puzzle box is fabulous. Like, it has that nice little neat texture. It has a little bit of that foil bit. The coloring of this puzzle is absolutely stunning. And the image is if you are like laying down in the middle of the woods and like looking up, which to me just brings back memories, because that's what I did in like my little fort when I was younger, when I lived in the middle of the woods. And so image wise, I was really excited about it, and I was excited to try this new brand. It photographs beautifully. However, I do need to give you a little heads up about the fit. There are so many false fits. Like, it was super frustrating, definitely challenging, you know, because it's already a busy image. There's really not too much to go off of, and to have false fits on top of that, I was just not about it. So I don't think I would purchase another one from this brand, but it was a really beautiful image. And if you love the image enough, like, go for it. But for me, I don't really recommend the quality of it. For me, it just wasn't what I want it to be, which is such a bummer because I had really high expectations and the pieces just felt really nice, but the fit itself just was like a no-go. Next we have this one, which I loved so much. So this one is called Swans Near Charles Bridge. This one is by Magnolia, and I loved it so much. Now, if you're new to my channel, maybe you're just unaware, I love puzzles with sky and water, which is not a lot of people's cup of tea. For me, it's just a super calming and very relaxing. I would much rather have sky and water than something that's super crazy busy and you need to do like chaotic puzzling. That's not my jam, but something like this where it's like serene and just pretty and relaxing, like, I loved this image so much. The top half was very quick for me. I loved it. I love this like nice sunset sky and the little bit of leaves. Like, it was just like tiptoeing into autumn as far as image goes. I also really liked this water, which you would think would be a little bit difficult, but it really has a lot of variation of color to use. So like over here we have a lot of pink water. Over here we have more of that golden water. We have some bright teal blues, and then we have like a darker color. I loved it. I love the finish of the pieces. They have nice matte pieces. They were a beautiful fit, not a single false fit, and I loved it. It was such a beautiful image to do. So next up we have this one from Anatolian, and this one is called Matrushka. Super cute image, has like Russian style dolls, lots of different patterns, bright colors, and I thought this would be a super fun, easy image to do. And it was just really annoying because, again, it also had false fits. Like, a crazy amount. It was very crumbly, couldn't pick up 2 pieces at a time. Pieces are fine, you know, they felt more like a Buffalo Game style of piece where they're relatively thin, good surface size. Nothing crazy to discuss about the piece quality, like it felt fine, but the fit was awful. It was so crumbly and there's so many false fits, and I originally was thinking I would like try speed puzzling this, and within like 30 minutes I was like, wasn't even done with any part of the border because everything was just fitting together. It was awful. So I don't think I would do more from this brand. I did one that was like 250 pieces, which was fun enough, you know, but it also had a very crumbly fit. So I don't really think I'd go over 500 pieces for me for that brand. Then next we have several that I did for my 24-hour puzzle-thon. If you joined in on that, thank you so much. It was so much fun to just have a very chill, casual day of just puzzling with you guys. We also raised over $1,000 for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Like, it was such a great time. I was exhausted at the end. I feel like it took me a few days to recover. Like the next day I was completely fine, but it definitely caught up to me with the lack of sleep. The first one that I did was this one by Puzzle Twist, which I had never done the brand before. And I'm trying to not give you too many spoilers here, but it was super fun. And if you're new to the brand, they have this style. This one is called Something Amiss. They have several other variations as well, but Something Amiss means like the picture that you're doing, it's close, but there's some few things that are not what you see. And so it was really fun the way that they did little tweaks here and there. And it was some things where you were like, see the puzzle piece and you're like, that doesn't belong, but then you realize it's one of the little twists. Some twists are just like a change in color, a change in like direction. I really enjoyed this one as far as piece quality. Loved it, have no issues with it whatsoever. The box though, I feel like is a little bit too big for what it needs to be. Like it could be a little, at least thinner, you know, because this is such a beefy box, but I really did enjoy it. I would definitely try more from them. And it was a fun time, just the whole thing. This one here I loved. And it was definitely more challenging than I was expecting. I think it would have been a lot easier if I wasn't like talking and managing the chat at the same time. This one is from Puzzles of Color, which is a Black-owned brand, and the puzzle is called Pachanga Familiar. And the pieces are really interesting. They are completely matte and they are cardboard, but they have a paper backing, and somehow they feel like plastic. And so it feels and sounds like a plastic piece, but it definitely is a cardboard puzzle. And I really liked the pieces a lot. Normally I'm not someone who does a paper backing because it can be like kind of hindering. Sometimes you can have quality issues, but this one, no issues whatsoever. It was absolutely stunning. Fit was beautiful. The coloring was absolutely stunning. Loved the matte pieces and loved the final image. Definitely took me longer than I was expecting just because, you know, it's a more challenging image. I was already starting to get tired because I had started the challenge late in the day. That's a whole other thing. But I ended up really enjoying this puzzle and definitely enjoyed the quality of the pieces. So this is a brand I'm definitely having my eye out on, and I would love to see what else they come up with. The next one I have is called Tulip Twister, and the brand is Different Puzzles. Similar concept to Puzzle Twist, where it's like something's not quite right. I feel like for this one, and I noticed a lot of you also commented about it on the video, is that their surprise was nothing special. Like, I think it would have just been better if they just like didn't have a twist, because I'm just going to give you a spoiler because it's just really funny. So like with the Puzzle Twist one, there's like little things everywhere throughout the puzzle. For the different puzzles, you have this really fun image. Like, it's fun, it's quirky, like there's a lot happening. You have hot air balloons, you have these tulips, you have like these carnival rides. It's kind of wild, right? And then for their twist, they just added like an extra balloon at the bottom, and it felt like such an afterthought, like, oh crap, we didn't put the twist in. And so then they just added this extra thing at the bottom, which I just felt was kind of like, I don't know, not very exciting, not very different, you know, than the original image. And I feel like it was just like such an afterthought. Like for me, I would have much rather have done the whole puzzle than like that one little thing that I'm just like, well, that wasn't necessary type thing. So as far as quality goes, loved it. Nice matte pieces, really beautiful image, really fun, lots of stuff to work from. Love the coloring, love the quirkiness of the image. For me, it was just the twist part that I didn't think they really did well on. So there's that one. It's definitely, I would consider looking at other ones that they did. Maybe that was one that they just like I don't know, forgot to do the twist until the very end. I don't know. Next we have this one from Springbok. It's called Crayola Dripping in Color. And this one I love. I love the image, and I will say the quality is okay. My thing with Springbok recently is, one, their boxes feel really cheap. Like they definitely, their quality on the boxes feels, I don't know, like they are taking some shortcuts, which is fine if it means like reducing cardboard waste or whichever. It just feels really flimsy. And the pieces are fine, like the normal Springbok pieces. I'm not talking about like this puzzle specifically, I'm talking about like Springbok in general recently. It's like, I like the snap of putting a puzzle piece in, and I feel like you lose that with the Springbok puzzle because they're a little bit more squishy, and when you're putting in the puzzle pieces, it just doesn't have that same, I don't know, satisfying snap that I love. And so I do like this puzzle and I love the image, but I think I would much prefer it as like a Ravensburger puzzle, or like something that has like that little bit of like a grip to it when you're like putting in a puzzle piece. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, I love the image though. It was super fun. I'm just saying in general, I think Springbok is hit or miss with a lot of people. For me, I'm like borderline because I love some of the images. I just wish the puzzle pieces were different. I do like the whimsiness though. I just wish they had more of like a secure snap. I don't know how to describe it. I hope you get what I'm saying though. A brand that I have been really into, and one that I had shown on that 24-hour puzzle-thon, was Villager Puzzles. They are a new baby brand. She just opened up in Canada, and I did pre-order these. I ordered them, purchased them myself, and I will say I absolutely love them. So I've done 2 so far already out of the 8 that I ordered, and I ordered the whole entire set, which does get you, I think, 2 puzzles free. So if you're gonna get a couple, and maybe you have some like puzzle friends or whichever, it might be worth getting all of them. It does save some money, but I got the whole set. And this one I started on the 24-hour puzzle-thon later, and like I was exhausted. I'd been awake at like 36 hours at that point. And so I had started this one and I loved it. Oh my gosh. I did end up finishing it the next day, and the coloring is beautiful. Nice matte pieces, has a puzzle poster inside, but nothing too massive. It's just like a nice foldable puzzle poster. And I feel like just in general the box is well thought out. You have a little bit about the artist, you have a little bit about the brand. I just like it so much, and I do plan on doing a video about this brand in the future, and it's just been a really fun one to explore and see them grow because they are such a new company. So this one I definitely am excited about, and the puzzle quality is lovely, so have no complaints. Like I can't fault it whatsoever. But I did enjoy it. Moving into the next stack. This first one here is by Masterpieces. It's called A Scary Night in October. And this one is super fun because it is a glow-in-the-dark puzzle. I will say when I was doing the puzzle, I wasn't a huge fan. For me, it looked like my puzzle printing wasn't right. Like everything was blurry. Like it all looked like you were looking at a 3D image without the glasses. Like it was all just like hazy, and like things weren't lining up correctly as far as shadows, and it just, the image was not my favorite. Like even when it was done, I felt like it didn't look clean. Like there wasn't any type of like strong focus on anything. Everything just looked like blurry and out of place. However, and also it had like this grit to it, almost as if you had like a nail file, which for me, I hate that feeling so much. But like that had that like gritty texture on the pieces of where it's supposed to be glow in the dark. Previously, when I did glow in the dark puzzles, I haven't had great success, you know, and I have done a Masterpieces one before, and the glow in the dark aspect didn't work whatsoever. This time around, the glow in the dark part was my favorite part. Oh my gosh, it was so fun to turn off the lights and it really just glowed. Like I have a beautiful picture of it, and it was super, super fun. Piece quality, great Masterpieces, normal stuff. Nothing really spectacular to write about. I might have gotten a dud as far as the printing goes. I don't know, I'll be interested to see if other people have that same issue with theirs. Moving on to this one, there's just another Halloween puzzle. We have this one from Ceaco, and this one is called Graveyard Party. It's a Nightmare Before Christmas puzzle, and I'll show you the back because that has the full image. Piece quality, not my favorite. It's really, really thin, shiny pieces. It reminded me of that Blockbuster puzzle I did a long time ago, where it had like just thin, large surface area pieces. For me, it was fine, but it almost bordered on the, when you put a puzzle piece in, another puzzle piece like lifts up because there's just not enough weight to keep the puzzle down. I didn't have any false fits though. I just felt like the pieces need to be a little bit thicker. I also think it was a little bit too shiny. However, aside from that, I love this one so much. It was so bright and fun and just giving me all the Disney Nightmare Before Christmas, Haunted Mansion type vibes, and I loved it. So I will definitely probably do it again this season just because I really enjoyed it. It was just a fun little treat, and I got that one on Puzzle Warehouse. If you are curious, but they also sell it on Amazon. I don't remember the price, but it's not crazy. So I'll link it down below if you're interested. Next we have this one, which I thrifted. I loved. So this was definitely a nice, cozy, rainy night when I did this one. And it's called Waits River Church, Vermont, New England by Ceaco. And so this one is just a nice, sweet New England autumn scene. When I was doing this one, Dave even mentioned like, hey, did we drive by that church when we were there? And I was like, I'm not quite sure, but this style of church is definitely like a New England style of building and that you see often. And so I wouldn't be surprised, but it could also just be another one in the area. I loved this one. I like the quality. I didn't have a single false fit. The piece quality is definitely better than the Ceaco, the Graveyard Party one. Definitely thicker pieces and smaller in surface size, but still really good. I really challenged myself with this one because it had like a lot of the trees and the colors, and so I did have to sort the end bit with piece shape, but I ended up finishing it fine. It was just such a nice cozy evening. I had like a cup of hot chocolate, and it was like raining outside, and it was just like dark and stormy. I liked it. It was a good evening in, and so I ended up getting this one for $3.49 at the thrift store. So for me, I think that was worth it. We also have this one, which I got at the thrift store, and when I had done that puzzle haul, I had asked which puzzle I should do, and overwhelmingly you guys voted for this one. This one is called Cat Balloon Race, and this one has so much fun things happening. It has some sky in the background. It has these cats dressed as humans on hot air balloons, but it's like this Victorian style era where there's like a Victrola and just quirky inventions, and I loved it so much. The piece quality was surprisingly good for Buffalo Games. Like I feel like the fit was really nice, and I have no complaints. It was 750 pieces. Absolutely loved it. Like I would recommend this one in a heartbeat. It was so much fun. I liked the different like balloons because you had very distinct things, like larger things to work with, and it was just a good time. I liked it. Next we have the two multi-packs, which I'll just touch on briefly. So I did a 500 piece from this one, which is the Cardinal one, which has mixed reviews. For me, I think for the price point, it's worth it. I understand that it's a bit crumbly and has false fits, which may be very frustrating for some, but if you don't have a ton of options around you, I got mine at Walmart, and for me, it's worth it. Just because it does have all the fall vibes. I did enjoy the 100 and 300 pieces a lot. And even for me, those two piece counts was worth the puzzle price for me. I can understand the 500 piece ones kind of being disappointing. But for me, when I was growing up, we didn't have a thrift store or a Dollar Tree, but we did have Walmart near us. And so that might be an option if you're in a similar boat. So I did enjoy it. I just don't, if I had other options, I probably wouldn't go that route. But you know, it works fine in a pinch. And then we also have this one from Masterpieces, which actually had just as good a quality as their regular stuff, which I was really surprised by. Their 100 pieces do have all twos. That's the only really downfall for me because I might prefer like a variety of piece cuts, but their 500 pieces had their normal style of cuts that Masterpieces has. And so I actually did several puzzles from this. I think in total I did like 1,200 pieces just from this puzzle box alone, and I liked it. You know, I have several others still to do. It's definitely a fun thing, I think, to have if you were like going on vacation or had a minimal space, or if you were like knowing that like maybe you're in like a hurricane area or an area where you had to like hunker down for several hours and you need like something in the box, like the emergency box, to like keep you occupied. Something like this might be nice because you have like a ton of puzzles all in one box and it doesn't take up too much space. That's what I was thinking, because I was like, ooh, when we lived in Mississippi, we had to worry about like tornadoes and hurricanes, and so we had this like little emergency area. We had like a deck of cards and a couple of games, but something like this might have been nice too. Finally, we have this one here by Villager Puzzles. This is the second one I did, and it's called Salt Spring Island, and I loved it. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I love that little sunset sky. I like that there's like distinct things to work from. So you have like these trees over here, which are very distinct. You have this like orange style tree, which you could work from. Even like the different shades of water, like this water is definitely different than this water. And then you have like this whole green bit. So it's like a larger chunks to work with. And I really like that one. Really beautiful fit, and you know, same quality as the other one. Absolutely loved it. And I'm excited to try more from that brand. And with that being said, that is all the puzzles that I'll be discussing in today's video. If you want to see more puzzle reviews or other months, I'll link that whole playlist down below if you want just a ton of reviews of puzzles. And I hope you took away something from this video. I would love to know what puzzle you did that you really loved this month, so let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!